All right, welcome in. We should be live on YouTube and Rumble. So what a week. What a week. Something that makes sense actually happened. Jussie Smollett was found guilty of the thing that everybody knew that he did. Everybody knew about the fake hate crime. Everybody knew right from the start, really, didn't they? I'm pretty sure everybody, I know that Dave Chappelle talked about this in one of his specials. It just seemed a little too silly for really anybody to believe. Chicago, middle of the night, going to get a sandwich. How did they know? Was that the MAGA hats? It's just all very, very silly indeed. All right, give me 1 second here. I just got to muck with something with my computer here. Still not very good at figuring this stuff out. I think I got it. All right. So something made sense. Jussie Smollett was found guilty, as everybody knew that he would. I thought we'd take a look at a couple of memes before we get started on this. We've got a few stories to go through. We're going to touch on Santa Inc. There's that guy who had the prosthetic arm that he tried to get his vax put into. That was fantastic. There's a few things. There's something to do with prawn we're going to talk about. But in any case, hold on 1 second. All right. All right, let's take a look at a couple of these memes here. Fight back, even if you paid them to jump you. Jussie, do it. Nike. Why wouldn't Nike bring him on? Is Kaepernick that much less of a fraud than him? I'm not sure. Maybe they should be giving him some money. What else we got? An economy so strong, even Jussie Smollett hired 2 more people. That's right. If it had happened after Trump, he wouldn't have been able to afford to hire those people to attack him for the fake hate crime. That would have been a shame. What else we got? Tell the truth. Let's see. Rope News, $7. MAGA Nigerians, $3,500. Facing up to 3 years in prison for filing a false report. Priceless. I think technically he actually is facing even more than that. I think not that he will, actually. I think it's highly unlikely. It wasn't even actually a nonviolent crime. That's the thing. Because I think they lightly roughed him up. So I don't know. I've said before, if he, just gets probation and then immediately runs out and says that somebody told him Whole Foods was MAGA country, throw the book at him at that point. But this was actually a fairly harmful thing. It does cause just an immense amount of division and anger in an already kind of a pretty tense situation. But anyway, let the memes do the talking here. Jussie Smollett claims 2 Chinese men in MAGA hats coughed on him. Jussie Smollett claims 2 Chinese men in MAGA hats coughed on him. I want that to be true. Let's see. What else do we got? This is interesting. Staged attack by opposing political group. Zero evidence. So a staged attack by an opposing political group. Zero evidence. Media outrage. Of course, this was the narrative that they wanted. It's a narrative that they dream of. Actually attacked by an opposing political group. Video evidence. Media silence. This is Andy No. He reports on Antifa. And they attacked him. It was not well covered in the mainstream media. Though outside of that, yeah, it did get attention. But the mainstream media is not interested in that at all. Again, it's not the right narrative. He was being mean to their pals in Antifa. They love Antifa. You can't do that. That's their friends. It's against the narrative, for God's sakes. But this really does speak volumes, doesn't it? Anything else in here? All right, let's keep moving. All right, well, you know what? Let's move on. But still on the Smollett thing, Joy Reid seems to ignore Jussie Smollett verdict. Tweets about Karens who made false claims. Again, problem with the narrative here. What else can she do? The mainstream media makes no secret of their obvious biases, choosing to report on what they want and ignoring stories they'd rather see buried. That's what makes it no surprise that notorious leftist Joy Reid blatantly refused to address the Jussie Smollett verdict during her December 9 segment on MSNBC. Yeah, they all did. They all did. Not interested. That's not the narrative. It might make people question them, and they can't have that. They are the truth, just like Fauci. They are the truth. They are the science. Despite having the verdict before her show aired, despite having the verdict before her show aired, Reid chose to open her segment discussing legal setbacks for Donald Trump, of course, because Orange Man bad. I forgot. And I'm sure the 14 people that were watching her show were just dying to know about legal setbacks for Donald Trump. To do with the January 6th committee, because that's what everybody cares about now. In fact, nobody can think of anything else. Well, I mean, I'm only talking about the 14 or 13 people that watch her show there. Everybody else doesn't care at all, right? It's so blatant, isn't it? She did this blatantly, while knowing that the Smollett verdict was the biggest story in the country and that it didn't fit the narrative she helped construct. Oh, it looks like somebody is sympathizing with me with my, because I'm kind of a boomer. I guess I'm kind of a Luddite, with the tech stuff. Ruby Page, Rar Tech, thank you. Thank you for your kindness. All right. Where was I here? That didn't fit the narrative she helped construct. Yes, it doesn't fit the narrative. Even though it's the biggest story, I mean, briefly anyway. It's actually such a stupid story. But it does fit with the times so much, doesn't it? It is so apt for the times. And for the I guess the turning virtue into like or turning oppression into a virtuous characteristic, into a kind of heroism all its own. Being oppressed is a kind of heroism now. It's the highest virtue for the left. So it's no surprise that people would want to cash in on that, right? It's a form of currency now. I mean, we all know this. Let's see. Reid also downplayed the verdict on Twitter for the most part, except for a bizarre retweet that referenced the situation. The readout host said, quote, "Great point," to an original statement that said, quote, "If Jussie Smollett is being convicted of falsely reporting a hate crime, what about all the Karens who have falsely made claims to law enforcement and tried to weaponize the police, blah, 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 blah. Same old story. So what? So what?" Oh. It's, again, constantly having to shift the narrative back in the right direction, away from anywhere that is uncomfortable. They really can't do anything else, can they? I mean, he's guilty. It was very bad. I mean, this caused a lot of damage. How much? Who knows? I mean, it's like setting off it's like lighting tinder on fire. You know it's going to go off. Not the right time to do it. Or maybe exactly the right time to do it, depending on how you look at it. Anyway, let's move on. Seth Rogen claims white supremacists are review bombing Santa Inc. This show is so bad I tried to watch the first episode. I got in about, I got to be honest with you, I got in about 10 minutes or 15 minutes or something. I can't remember. I didn't even watch the whole first episode because it is literally it's so bad. There was nothing redeeming there. It's not like, well, a couple of jokes hit. You thought, well, maybe sometimes they're kind of awkward in the beginning. Maybe they get a little bit. No. Everything was pure shit. Pure garbage. Bile, I would say. It felt like these people hate Christmas. Not just hate Christmas. Hate the culture that they're in. All of it. It was like a woke checklist. Like, wife and mother, bad. That's bad. You don't want to be that. So got that. White people, bad. White men, bad. Strong woman elf, good. It was just a woke checklist. Good news, Santa. More people believe in you than vaccines and the Holocaust. What world are these people living in? They just simply, I think, hate their own culture. They hate it so much they have to make a terrible cartoon about it. And then, of course, we see, because let me show you something. Was at 3%, now it's at 4%. That's the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. No critics have even submitted anything to this. That tells you something. It is that bad. 4%. It's not like you can just review brigade it and get 4. Like, where are the people that like this? There aren't any. Nobody likes this. And unless 96% of the people who saw it are white supremacists, maybe this is just a garbage show. Seth Rogen claims the white supremacists are review bombing Santa Inc. Where's everybody else? Where are the people defending it? There ain't any. That's the problem. This thing is so bad, it's actually depressing. Like it'll make you sad watching it, right? It's so bad, it's so ill-intended that I have to wonder if they didn't do it on purpose. Like they didn't make it intentionally bad. Like they even knew that it wasn't funny. There was no redeeming qualities to it whatsoever. Because remember that oppression is the highest virtue for the left. These guys are, Sarah Silverman and Seth Rogen, these guys are as far left as it gets these days. They're as woke as it gets. Which means they're as confused as it gets. But they know oppressed is good. I wonder if they did something that was going to be so hated that then they could present themselves as just wallow and just, I don't know, maybe it's like a drug for them, right? They found like 3, user reviews or something that from the Supremes. And, they were hoping for that. Like they were hoping to have that. So they attacked Christmas in such a vile way that they knew they were going to get that response so that then they could be oppressed and then they could be high priests of wokeness and high priests of virtue by dint of their oppression. They saw news stories of other people being oppressed and they wanted in on some of that. Right? So they did something so vile. I think they want it. I don't know, maybe it's, do they really believe that, he said it was tens of thousands of the Supremes review bombing it. Maybe they do believe that there's a Supreme around every corner, There's a Supreme hiding under your bed. Maybe there's a Supreme in the closet. Maybe they really do believe that. Maybe they've crossed the line from sanity into some sort of inner movie that they're in, some delusion that they're in. Maybe they see themselves as the movies, as heroes in a movie, and they can't tell the difference between real life and that anymore. And they're actually living in some sort of deluded movie realm where they're heroes fighting Yahtzees or something. I don't know. All I can tell you is that This show, this Santa Inc., it's incomprehensible why anybody would make this. They must have known. They must have known it would be hated. Let's move on. From Outkick. Porn star Adriana Chechik sustained laundry list of injuries while doing The Dirty. So she's been injured making dirty movies. So just to be clear here, yeah, she's a porn star, right? So a pinched nerve, effed up neck, and an out-of-place spine. What? A pinched nerve, effed up neck, and an out-of-place spine? I kind of assumed it would be her asshole because you take a look at these movies she's making, Casablanca, Daddy It Hurts, Jesus, ugh, Alien Ass Party. I mean, after that second one there, Alien Ass Party sounds like wholesome by comparison. But anyway, I thought it would be your ass that got broken. Because, I mean, if you're making movies where that's right in the title, it's probably starring in the movie. The ass is probably the star of the movie. And there's probably things, you know, you would assume that the damage would be concentrated there, right? That's where all the action is, right? Pinched nerve, effed up neck, and out of place spine. I mean, okay, sure. But I just assumed because of, you know, the movie's kind of about something happening to her ass. Anyway, all right. Those are just some of the boo-boos that have hampered Adriana Chechik, a porn star, during her pursuit of excellence. Well, I mean, Alien Ass Party is on its fourth version, so Alien Ass Party 4, they made 4 of them. It must be pretty good, right, if they've made 4. She's appeared in more than 350 films. That's a lot. That's a lot. I wonder if she has trouble bonding. She says, I have a really effed up neck now. I have a pinched nerve and my C6 and 7 part of the spine are out of place. Get this. And then my brainstem actually comes out of pocket a little bit. Jesus. The brainstem comes out of pocket? What is that? What is that? What's been hitting her brainstem? I don't know. Maybe she needs to change her job. I mean, brainstem's coming out. Okay. I'm not gonna make the jokes. No. I'm not gonna do it. Italian diocese apologizes after hold on a second. Italian diocese apologizes after children told Santa is not real. Why would they do that? Why is everybody trying to wreck Christmas? Did they talk to Sarah Silverman or Seth Rogen before they did that? What the hell is going on? A Roman Catholic diocese in Sicily has apologized after a bishop ruined Christmas for many children by telling them Santa Claus does not exist. Why would you do that? Don't wreck the fun. Let's see. He's quoted as saying during a recent religious festival that Santa Claus was not real and that his red costume was created by the Coca-Cola company for publicity. I don't care if that's true. I don't care. Don't tell kids that. I think it is probably true, though, but can't you tell them when they go to college? First of all, on behalf of the bishop, I express my sorrow for this declaration, which has created disappointment in the little ones, and want to specify that Monsignor Stagliano's intentions were quite different. Were they? I guess we'll find out. We certainly must not demolish the imagination of children, but draw good examples from it that are positive for life. I agree with that, absolutely. So Santa Claus is an effective image to convey the importance of giving, generosity, and sharing. Okay, I'm good with all that. But when this image loses its meaning, you see Santa Claus, aka consumerism, the desire to own, buy, and buy again, then you have to revalue it by giving it a new meaning. I don't know. Maybe we're just overthinking it here. I mean, things are very consumerist, but is consumerism as bad as everybody's telling us? Because I kind of like having shit. Is it really that bad? I mean, I guess too much of anything, it's maybe not a good, I don't know. But I'm kind of fine with the consumerism thing. I mean, I don't go crazy with it. I'm not like a hoarder. I don't constantly need to be buying things. So it's not a problem for me, but I do like getting shit. So I don't know. Maybe they should just shut the hell up. What's going on here? Uh-oh. Anti-vaxxer in Italy or fake arm to avoid vaccination. Legend. Legend. Absolute legend. If he never does anything else in his life, legend. Man, what a man. Fake it till you make it. Yes. What a hero this man is. That's what an anti-vaxxer in Italy hoped would happen when he used a silicone arm to avoid getting jabbed. God damn, what a great man. A hero, a leader. The 50-year-old man was armed with the fake arm at a clinic in Biella in the northern part of the country. However, since medical staff at the clinic know that an actual arm knows what an actual arm feels and looks like, since the medical staff at the clinic know what an actual arm feels and looks like, they caught on quick when they saw when the texture did not match a normal arm. I guess it's pretty hard to get that right. The skin color was realistic, though, so he gets an A for effort on that front. Absolutely an A for effort. Thank God for this man. I was about to give up hope. Local media reported the man tried to convince the medic to jab his fake arm, even after they realized it was fake. Yeah, I mean, I tell you what, it takes guts, because how much could he really believe that the fake prosthetic arm was going to trick a nurse? Because they of all people probably know what a real arm is like. A stage costume was how he defined it, according to nurse Filippa Bua, who first noticed the man. He arrived late in the morning, so he gets up early every morning and puts on his fake arm and goes for a shot. Very conscientious. I love it. I reported to the doctor, and then we made a report to communicate it to the superiors. It is believed the man was trying to fool medical staff into giving him a green pass, which proves the holder is being fully vaccinated against the COOF, or tested negative or recently recovered from the coronavirus. Thursday's fake arm incident comes as Italy is set to tighten up the rules for unvaccinated citizens. The man, whose name has not been released, was reported to local police. He now faces fraud charges. Totally worth it. Absolutely worth it. Man's a legend. I would put him in a movie if I could. I would make him, I don't know, I guess what could you really do? I mean, there's nothing I can do to help this guy, unfortunately. Maybe I'll write a book about him. Some sort of heroic novel or something. And, it'll be about him. And I'll have a picture of him on the front. And he'll travel the world performing miracles with his prosthetic arm. Gonna have to think about it. What do we got next? Woke warriors trying to cancel Christmas classics. What the hell? More people trying to ruin Christmas. It's hard to keep up with them all. Some critics are trying to get a number of classic holiday movies canceled, claiming they are problematic. Well, everything is now. Haven't you heard the news? Everything's problematic. Everything's racist. Everything is supremacy. It's actually getting quite boring, isn't it? I mean, it's very, very predictable. What do you think of that thing over there? Racist? Yeah, that's what I thought. Whether it's modern classics like Love Actually or The Holiday, are those really modern classics, though? Anyway, or All-Timers Like It's a Wonderful Life, definitely a classic. There are people who want them taken off the air. Of course they are. I did a video about somebody who wants American Pie canceled because it upsets Don McLean's ex-wife. That was, I think, an opinion piece, and I think it was the New York Times. I mean, it's madness. It's surreal, actually, isn't it? That things that stupid are taken seriously in this modern age. Let's see. It's a Wonderful Life. Of course, they want to get rid of that. I also did a video on Baby It's Cold Outside. They weren't happy about that. They thought it was very, very problematic, that old song. They needed to change it because they felt like, I don't know, it was the bad culture stuff. And yeah, you know what? Just watch the video. Just watch the video. Woke people don't like anything. I think it was the traditional gender roles in that song actually really bothered them quite a bit. And I think the woman in it was supposed to have been more of a slut. That way she'd be more feminist. I think they wanted that song to end with an orgy, I think. That would have been woke. Anyway, It's a Wonderful Life. Frank Capra's classic It's a Wonderful Life has been targeted because some people think Jimmy Stewart's character was misogynistic. Well, thank God we have the woke age, or else nobody would have ever guessed that or thought that, and people just would have enjoyed the movie. The old wholesome movie. We're not allowed to have wholesome things anymore. Nothing's allowed to be nice anymore. George Bailey was an emotionally abusive and manipulative misogynist. It just feels like satire, doesn't it? An emotionally abusive and manipulative misogynist. Well, I will say he did get a bit stressed at one point. They say Bailey imposes himself on his wife. What do they mean by that? Imposes himself. Did I miss the part of It's a Wonderful Life where George Bailey rapes his wife? Did they cut that out for the TV version? Imposes himself. What do they mean by that? Some called out the movie's lack of diversity. Oh. Including this clever tweet. I see NBC is playing It's a Wonderful Life right now. It's in black and white. Is that why I see no people of color? And you know that was a white person who wrote that too? I don't know. What do you say about that? Thank God everybody's an idiot now. The Holiday. Much more recently, this film became a Netflix staple. Cameron Diaz and Kate Winslet, and then there's Jude Law in it and Jack Black. I think I vaguely remember this, watching this years ago. I'm not really sure this is a classic. I mean, I'm not for things being canceled. I just wouldn't really notice if they canceled that one. The Santa Claus 1994 blockbuster has been railed as being fat-phobic. Fat-phobic. Tim Allen's fat suit probably didn't help, nor did all of the fat jokes. So, I've made videos about this as well. I don't think it's a kindness to lie to people about morbid obesity. I think the kindness is in being honest with people and telling them, well, the truth, right? The unhealthy, like, you know, you want them to stay around if you like the person anyway. Fat jokes are motivation. You know, they're just motivation. They're also the truth. They're also reality. The truth will set you free. There is no greater truth than that. In life, the truth will set you free. If you cannot face the truth, if you cannot look in the mirror, you are going to fail at everything. Because reality works. Reality wins. Reality is predictive. Reality is like a secret weapon. The truth is a secret weapon. The truth will set you free. When you delude yourself, you make yourself weaker. And I think fat jokes are a part of that. And also, they're just funny. Jingle all the way. So, this one is, I do believe it's a terrible movie, is it not? Why don't they like it? Schwarzenegger and Sinbad team up for this one in their quest to one-up each other with gifts for their children is being attacked. The reason? It's too pro-capitalism, of course. Capitalism's bad. Didn't you know it's supremacy? That's really at the heart of all this woke shit that's going on. They just don't like capitalism. Everything else is a Trojan horse for Marxism. As far as I can tell. Now, I have seen this movie. I don't remember it all that well. Remember the end got truly bizarre. If they did cancel it, I probably wouldn't notice. But again, I'm not for canceling things. Love Actually. Do you know what? There is something creepy at the end of that movie. That guy, the friend who, was it Mark? They called him a stalker. I always thought that was a bit weird. He goes to his friend's house and then he's doing the weird thing with the girlfriend. That's not cool. That's not in the bro code. I still don't want it canceled. Maybe a little bit. I don't know. I didn't think that was creepy. Whatever. I don't give a shit. You know what? It's a Wonderful Life. That should definitely not be canceled. None of them should be canceled. But It's a Wonderful Life is a classic. It's become a tradition. We need these things. These things are the foundation of society. We do need them, regardless of what purple-haired gremlins may tell you. Former Playmate Holly Madison recalls Hugh Hefner's furious reaction to her haircut. He was screaming at me, she said. So Hugh Hefner was furious about her haircut. Well, did she ask him if she could cut it first? I mean, I'm just saying. There's always two sides to the story. You know what? I think that's it. I think that's all we got for tonight. All right. Well, hey, subscribe, like, share. That really helps me out. Sharing actually really helps me out. I actually notice it when people share the videos. I actually notice it on the back end in the YouTube studio. So I really appreciate it when you share the videos. But anyway, have a great weekend. We'll see you next time.